Hi, Save with Crypto here. Okay, so yesterday the price of Bitcoin came down a little bit. I mean, looking at it on the 1 hour time frame, it was just that, that bit there. So we actually went back to a price that we haven't seen since last Thursday. That was a week ago. Okay, so a friend of mine yesterday was saying what happened to October. Okay, well, it's not happened yet, has it? However, from the kind of 1st of October, which was about then, to today, we are up 12%. I mean, there's not many assets that do that, are there? So, if you'd have just bought Bitcoin then and held on to it, you'd be 12% up anyway. So, it's nothing to moan about, is it? Anyway, on the 1 hour time frame, this is looking okay. If we put on my EMA indicators, what I can see here is that before we had that dump, these 21 and 55, that's the green and the yellow, EMAs crossed over bearish on the 21st of October. Okay, and they've been going down ever since. It looks like there's a possibility they might cross over bullish again. And that looks like that could probably happen by about 11 a.m. UK time this morning, which is about 10 a.m. UTC. So that looks good to me. If we put on the Stonksy indicator on the 1 hour time frame, that is still red. Okay, so if I see that turn green, I'm going to become quite bullish again. Looking at it on the 5 minute and 10 minute time frames, the 5 minute is bullish, 10 minute is in a no trade zone. So once again, if I see this turn green, that will give me more confidence that we're going back into a uptrend. Now, if you do want to use the Stonksy indicator, the monthly plan is 145 quid, which is quite expensive for a lot of people. Although I do think you can make that back quite easily, even if you're trading with about, let's say, $1,000. You can probably make 145 quid back really quickly. The annual plan works out much better value. That's like £1,000 for a year, which still sounds like a lot of money. However, I have got a discount code, and I think it's the only discount code available at the moment. To take full advantage of it, you need to use the link savewithcrypto.org/Stonksy, which will also qualify you for my prize draw as well. And then beyond that, for the annual, I've got one called SWC30, okay, and that gets you 30% off the annual plan. That Martini guy did mention it a couple of times on his live stream yesterday, saying that he thinks it runs out today. I haven't been told that, so I think for the moment you're good. So SWC30 will get you 30% off. That makes that about 700 quid, which is about 50 quid a month. And I think really you can make 50 quid a month very easily. A lot of the talk yesterday was all about what you could do if you made 1% a day. And I did look into this actually. So literally you start off with $100, say, and you make 1% a day, 365 days. You reinvest all of it. That could get scary later on, but I suppose it's possible, isn't it? So let's calculate that. So indeed, that $100 would actually turn into 3,678. It's not bad, is it? So I'm thinking of trying this with 2,000. What would that make? So 2,000 would make 73,566. Well, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? I mean, if you're using something like Stonksy, if you think you can get a bit of an edge and make 2% a day, and you started off with 2,000, you'd be a multi-millionaire by this time next year.
Next year we'll be millionaires.
So this time next year we'll be millionaires.
Now, I did play around with this a little bit to see what percentage you need to make per day to make $1 million in a year from $2,000. And it's about 1.72%. Okay, so over 365 days, that would come to $1,008,072. So I think that's my plan. Anybody else fancy that? So what I've done, I've copied these figures over into a spreadsheet on Google Drive, and I've just taken out the actual day of the plan, the actual date, although I might change that. Daily profit, and then you got the total there. And I plotted this graph of these two columns here. So you can see it's an obvious exponential curve. So, that goes up massively towards the end. Now, this is where the scary bit happens, really, because, initially you need to be making like, $34 a day, 36, that kind of thing. And then it gets into like 50s. And then by Christmas, we're making, getting on for $100 a day. And then by the spring of next year, you're making something like $700 a day. So, the trades are going to be quite big, but you're going to be dealing with a capital of like sort of, over $100,000. And then obviously by this time next year, you're looking at making something like $15,000 a day, which I have done in the past, but certainly not every day. But there again, I've never had $927,000 to play with. So that could be interesting. Do you think it's mad? What problems can you see along the way? I think losing money is going to be the problem, isn't it? If for example, you lost money, what you'd have to consider is the fact that you've put yourself back to a certain date. So let's say you're up to $10,000 and you manage to lose 5% of that, it's going to put you back to $9,500. But at that stage, it's only going to put you back a week. So I think having that kind of mentality of not being greedy and just trying to get that consistent 1.72% a day, or more if you can get it, or if you do make a loss, trying to get back to where we are on this line has to be the goal. Now, I was going to pick an exchange to do this on, but there again, I'm thinking by the end there, you don't really want $1 million on one exchange, do you? So I think I'm probably going to start off with my BitGet account, which has currently got about $3,000 in. The complication there is I do owe Atom Protocol about $3,000, so I will need to pay that back at some point. So maybe I need to find $2,000 from somewhere else and maybe start this next week. What do you reckon? Anybody else fancy it as well? Let me know in the comments. And while you're down there, please do make sure you are subscribed and you've got the notifications set on all. Do like the video, of course. And above all, tell your friends.